Today I want to talk about an often overlooked quality that can set a buyer apart: going the extra mile. I recently spoke to a senior client of mine, a buyer with over 20 years of experience, who shared some valuable insights into how he approached supplier relationships and negotiations early in his career. His experience highlights the difference a bit of proactive effort can make in building authority and trust with suppliers. Qualities that are just as relevant today, if not more so. In his day, my client didn't have the formal authority to make final decisions on his own. He couldn't simply close a deal on the spot, but he didn't let that limit his effectiveness. Instead, he took the time to pre-align with his superiors before a negotiation, securing any necessary approvals and knowing exactly where the boundaries were. Then, when he entered the negotiation room, he was able to lead with confidence. By the time he had guided the supplier to the terms he wanted, he could extend his hand, shake on it, and effectively close the deal. Now, what made this approach so powerful? To the supplier, my client appeared to have full authority, which granted him a degree of respect that often went beyond his actual rank. Because he handled each negotiation with clarity and confidence, senior supplier executives started seeing him as a respected peer. And some of these executives even advanced to CEO roles, maintaining strong ties with him throughout their careers. But it wasn't just about appearing authoritative. By taking control in this way, he sped up processes significantly, bypassing the usual delays of back and forth approvals after negotiations. He showed his suppliers that he was a capable, proactive partner who could be relied on to get things done. And this is where the real value of going the extra mile shines through. Not only did it establish him as a strong, respected buyer, but it also built trust, opened doors to high-level connections, and ultimately created long-term relationships. Unfortunately, he noted that today many junior procurement professionals don't take this approach. Instead, they seem to limit their engagement to only what they are formally authorized to do, sticking to the letter of their roles without fully exploring the potential they have within those boundaries. This approach often leads suppliers to view these junior bosses as the true decision makers, which can make it easy for suppliers to bypass them in future negotiations. And that in turn diminishes the junior buyer's authority and effectiveness. One reason he believes this trend has taken hold is the shift to remote work during the pandemic. Without regular face-to-face interactions, junior buyers may have missed the chance to closely observe experienced role models in action. And that impacts the subtle knowledge transfer that happens in traditional office environments. Without seeing the nuances of how experienced buyers manage negotiations, junior buyers may not fully grasp the importance of taking proactive steps or establishing rapport with suppliers. But here's where the opportunity lies. If the peer group of new buyers is indeed behaving this way, operating strictly within formal limits, then taking a more proactive approach could set any one of them apart. By emulating this extra mile mindset, you could stand out in ways that many others in your role might not be considering. Think of it as a way to differentiate yourself in a field where simply meeting expectations isn't enough to excel. If you're new in procurement or still in the early stages of your career, consider taking a few steps to become this kind of standout buyer. First, make it a habit to pre-align with your supervisors. Talk to them before negotiations and make sure you're aware of any boundaries, so you can act with confidence and within your limits. This helps to remove uncertainty and empowers you to make quick decisions when you're in the room with suppliers. Second, take the time to build relationships. If your supplier sees you as someone who brings clear direction and reliability, they are far more likely to see you as a respected partner rather than someone who merely executes orders. By building rapport with supplier representatives and understanding their needs, you open the door to a more collaborative relationship. And third, demonstrate authority within the bounds you have. There's a difference between following rules and exercising authority within those rules. When you're confident about your decisions and demonstrate that you have a firm grasp on the goals of the negotiation, you are showing the supplier that you are knowledgeable and dependable. This kind of authority, where you have everything lined up ahead of time, can make you more effective in driving negotiations to a successful close. Reflecting on the advice of my senior client, going the extra mile is about more than simply following procedures. It's about understanding how you can add value beyond what's written in the job description, taking proactive steps and ultimately positioning yourself as a valuable partner to suppliers. While others may take a limited view of the role, you have the chance to establish yourself as someone who makes things happen. For junior buyers, this mindset shift can be a powerful differentiator. If your peers are focused solely on the formal duties, you can stand out by going the extra mile by showing you're prepared, connected, and committed. Not only will this approach strengthen your relationships with suppliers, but it can also accelerate your growth in procurement. In a field that's constantly evolving, the ability to adapt, take initiative, and make things happen is one of the best ways to build a successful career. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Schuh, and this has been Procurement in the Park. Stay tuned for more tips on building a career in procurement.